The world is begging for a new silver price, a new gold price. Will it happen? Are you ready for a new price for silver and gold? Today, we're going to look at developments in 3 key countries that could dictate the future for the price of gold and the price of silver. India, China, and Russia, 3 powerhouse countries and big powerhouses when it comes to the precious metals. It's fascinating information. Let's dig in right now. The Western electronic exchanges have long suppressed the price of gold and silver. The COMEX in the United States and the LBMA in London have done a great job of keeping the price of gold and silver down. But now, as we head into a period of time where we are seeing changes in the world like we have never seen before, could we soon see major changes in how the price of gold and silver are determined? Let's start with India. Our friends in India have long loved their silver and gold. As a matter of fact, Indian households alone have more than 3 times the amount of gold that we have stored at Fort Knox in the United States. But listen to this. They have a sophisticated OTC gold trading market. India has also established a trading infrastructure for gold futures contracts on the Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. That's the MCX. In July of 2022, the India International Bullion Exchange, the IIBX, supported by the Indian government, was officially open for trading spot gold contracts. What's super interesting about what's going on, not only in India, but also Moscow and also China, is that their markets are more based on real physical metals. And what's going to break the COMEX? What's going to break the stranglehold that the LBMA also has on the metals price is overwhelmed by physical demand. Physical will overwhelm the electronic markets, and if these 3 powerhouse countries have their way, we could see that sooner as opposed to later. China is another powerhouse gold and silver country making healthy strides to determine a new price for the precious metals. Let's read this. As gold flows from west to east and the importance of eastern gold markets increase, these markets will also have a greater representation and influence in the global institutions that represent the gold market, such as the LBMA and the World Gold Council. In 2009, only 6 Chinese refineries were on the LBMA's good delivery list, but now there are 13. While just 15 years ago, there was only 1 regular full member of the LBMA from China, the Bank of China. There are now 7. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing 2 of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has 0 debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects. China's growing influence is also reflected in the World Gold Council. In February 2009, only 1 Chinese gold producer was a member of the World Gold Council. Now there are 4, and we know we have the SGE and the SFE, the Shanghai Gold Exchange and Shanghai Futures Exchange. They've been around, 20 years or so and are growing in importance. And, oh, by the way, there are also more physically based markets. Oh, and by the way, there's a real nifty way now that countries can sell oil on what's called a petro-yuan contract and then almost immediately convert those yuan into gold, essentially allowing countries to sell oil for gold. The developments are fascinating, and the ramifications for the silver and gold market continue to become more and more interesting. But let's talk about Moscow next. Because in February of 2022, after the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, they got kicked off of all the world gold trading standards. And what did they do? Well, as a result, Moscow announced in July of 2022 that a new infrastructure for precious metals trading independent of the LBMA and the COMEX would be established. According to Moscow, this is intended to break the supremacy of London and New York in global precious metals pricing. This proposal calls for the introduction of the Moscow World Standard, MWS, for precious metals trading. Similar to the LBMA's Good Delivery List, the establishment of a new international precious metals exchange in Moscow based on the MWS, the Moscow International Precious Metals Exchange, and the creation of a new gold price fixing based on the MWS so as to establish gold prices and reference prices different from those of the LBMA and the COMEX. Different of those. Guys, everywhere we look with the major powerhouse countries of the world, don't forget, we're talking India, China, 1.4 billion citizens each, Russia, another world power. Those three countries alone making very legitimate fast moves towards establishing new prices for precious metals. The future for gold and silver looks very, very interesting. We'll be watching as all of this develops. If you want to get your hands on some metals now, before Moscow, Dubai, and Shanghai take it all from you, go check out Pimbex. They're the sponsor of Ron's Basement, online bullion dealer. Look, I look for trustworthiness and best prices. And Pimbex, in my opinion, checks both those boxes. I think if you check them out, you'll think the same thing I do, that Pimbex is best. Pimbex. Hey, I'll be here for you through all of this. Yes, there are choppy waters that we've encountered, and likely more to come as precious metals investors, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it together. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement, live on the log flume with Lily. Lily, say hi.